Welcome to the Sega Lounge, a podcast dedicated to our love for all things Sega, be it the games, the music, or the community. I'm KC, and each episode I'll be talking to different guests and sharing their passion for Sega. Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Sega Lounge. Let me start by thanking each and every one of you that for the past 7 weeks has been downloading or streaming this podcast. Ever since I came back with the new season of the show, each episode has been more popular than the last. And last week, listener numbers really exploded beyond my comprehension, to be honest. It's a good indicator of the passion of Panzer Dragoon fans. If you somehow missed last week's episode, please give it a listen. I had a great talk with Ben from Forever Entertainment about the remake of Panzer Dragoon. Speaking of which, Panzer Dragoon is now available in the West for the Nintendo Switch. Yay! It had a surprise release after a surprise Nintendo Direct a few hours before this episode went live. You can, of course, purchase it if you haven't already, but as a way to thank everyone for your continued support of the show, I teamed up with Forever Entertainment and I'm giving away a code for Panzer Dragoon Remake on the Switch. If you want to know how to take part in this giveaway, stick around until the end of the show and I'll tell you everything. If you're new to the show, please consider subscribing to the Sega Lounge. We're available on every major podcatcher and a few minor ones as well, so a quick search there will lead you to the podcast. Or you can go to thesegalounge.com for quick links to all those services. If you've been enjoying this show so far, please leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Podchaser so that more people can find the Sega Lounge. And now, on to this week's amazing guest. It's been over 4 years since I last spoke to this week's guest. The last time that we sat down to talk about Shenmue III, back in July 2015, the Kickstarter for the game was breaking records, and he was very excited to be working with Yu Suzuki on the sequel to one of his favorite video game series of all time. Now that the game has been out for a while, he was very open about his personal thoughts and opinions on Shenmue III and how the development process and the release of the game were handled. He is the president and CEO of Shibuya Productions, founder and director of the Magic Monaco and Kyoto conventions, and worked on Shenmue III as a co-producer. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming back to the Sega Lounge, Cédric Biscay. Hello, Cédric.
Hello.
Welcome to the Sega Lounge.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for returning, for coming back to the show.
I'm back.
Yes, you are. Last time you were here was in July 2015, during the Shenmue III Kickstarter project. So it was almost done when we talked. What's been going on since then? How have you been?
Of course, very good, because we made it. That's the most important thing. We made it happen. And, at that time we were discussing, and after that we broke many records, and we are very happy on this, especially myself, because we bet a lot on Shenmue. I'm a very big fan of Shenmue. It's not a surprise, but I needed to convince a lot of people to follow me on that project. So I'm happy that it was a great success.
Awesome. Can you remind our audience, you mentioned this briefly last time, but can you remind us how you got involved with Yu Suzuki with Shenmue III?
But I know Yu Suzuki since quite many years now, and first time we discussed about Shenmue 3 was before 2013, as far as I remember, but we cannot do anything concrete regarding that topic, because you know that Sega is a IP owner since the beginning, and there is no room to make any Shenmue 3 at that time. And after we discussed again 2013, and then it became more concrete in 2013, and especially in 2014. 14. I think 2014 is a real concrete start point, not discussion, because discussion were before, but the concrete start point were 2014, and then of course we made the thing happen with the Kickstarters and everything.
Yeah, amazing.
Yes, especially one thing I just want to add, because I know your fans are very happy to hear this kind of story. But we, of course, made with Yusan a very nice trip in the Napa Valley in 2014. It was during the GDC time. And we got many concrete talk. We had many concrete talk at that time, not drunk talk, huh? but we could discuss about a lot of things in order after to make the things happen with that Kickstarter and everything.
Yeah, wine is always a great conversation starter and icebreaker. So
I think so, especially Yusan and myself, we are wine lovers. So as long as we have good wine, we can make the things.
amazing. Shenmue III, better with wine.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So the idea of to bring back Shenmue 3, I know Yu Suzuki wanted to do this for a long time. The fans had been asking for a long time as well. Who was the first one to say, let's do this? Let's try Kickstarter. Remember, was it like a joint decision? Was there someone that first got the idea of trying Kickstarter?
I think honestly, many people say to Yu Suzuki, "Let's do Kickstarter," including myself. So of course, I never want to say that I am the first one to say this kind of thing, because it's probably not the case. But there is a huge difference between oh, why you don't do Kickstarter and oh, let's do Kickstarter. That's totally different. So in that case, I think yes, we had a kind of a joint decision for this, because we made it for real. At that time, it's quite easy to just say, oh, we can maybe do a Kickstarter because it's a good way to finance project. But there is a lot of work, as you know, in order to prepare a Kickstarter and to make the things concrete. It's quite easy to just say it, but of course it's so much more work to really make it happen.
Indeed, and that's a very true fact. Okay, so last time we talked, the Kickstarter was still going. I believe when the show aired, there was one day to go for the Kickstarter project to end. You mentioned going to E3, an amazing experience. You even talked about someone who, I think before the PlayStation presentation, told you that maybe we'll get something from Shenmue this year, and you couldn't say anything, right? So there were a lot of feelings at the time. Now that some time has passed, after the Kickstarter was successfully funded, you broke records, as you said. Shenmue 3 is finally out. What would you say are your feelings right now regarding all of that? Looking back at all of this long and amazing journey, what are your feelings?
But of course, I'm very proud of what we achieved all together, because I always do that. I always say that. Sorry, but at first, that's a fact. I'm just a fan, and I'm just a fan with a small company, very active but small company, and it was like a dream to make all those things happen. So even when the game was available at the shops, I went to the shop and buy my Shenmue 3 at the shop. And I was just happy to take a picture of this moment, because for me it means something. I'm a kind of samurai. So when I say something, I do it, and it's not easy to say let's do Shenmue 3. Many people must think it's okay, that's just a game. Many people do games and it's a business, blah blah blah. But no, I'm just a a guy who stopped playing Shenmue because at the end of Shenmue II, you were expecting to go out of a cave, and I decided that I want to go out of that cave, and how can I do it? There is only one way: it's to make Shenmue 3. That's clear. So that's not that easy to do things. That's why I'm proud of what we did, because it was not easy. We were in late to deliver the game and many things, but we started with almost nothing. So we had to convince many people. Many people think only thanks to Kickstarter we can do it, but it's impossible. Of course, the people aware about the video game business totally understand that you cannot make Shenmue 3 with only Kickstarter. So Kickstarter was a great start point for everything. And without Kickstarter, it cannot happen, but it cannot be enough. So it's a lot of work during the development period, and right after the Kickstarter, it was a lot of work. And my team here worked a lot with Yusan and WiseNet to make the things happen. That's a real story.
Yeah, yeah. I believe. Yeah. That's very interesting and obviously true, right? You can't just even if you have a lot of money, that's not enough, right? So, and
No,
it,
that's
it wasn't really a lot of money for developing a game, right? So people sometimes look at how much money you guys made with the Kickstarter, but still, it really isn't to make a game the scope of Shenmue 3 and with all the features that Yu Suzuki wanted to make. It wasn't really that much money, right?
no, that's not that much money, and also, uh, regarding the Kickstarter and everything, when we made announcement at E3 and all those things, most of the people were very happy. But there is at that time also many haters on this, because people said, "Oh, why they are doing Kickstarter? They have Sega, they have Sony." But those people, they don't understand anything. We don't have anyone. We don't have anyone. What are you talking about? We are alone, and we are trying to do our best. We have Shenmue. That's a big brand, and this is the real add value we add for the Kickstarter, because Shenmue is a name with a community. So that's why the community was very active, and still, but was very active on the Kickstarter. And most of the people, they wanted to have a Shenmue 3. That's the reason why we broke some records, because everyone wanted that game. That's all. And even if there is haters, even if there is some journalists who that do not share our passion, we didn't care. We just made it happen, and it's available now. So that's it.
Yeah, definitely. There will always be haters, so there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, because maybe, especially in France, I'm French, so I'm surprised to see some journalists since 2015. They never believed in that game. I'm very interested about the facts, and of course, you can have an idea about a game when it's almost released or after 2 years of development, etc. But I remember about 2015, French journalists were not so enthusiastic about the game without any reason. We just made a great announcement, and all the video games lover at that time must just enjoy that announcement. And even at that time, some journalists were not happy. So wow. I don't know the reason, but probably there is a kind of problem.
Yeah, their loss, I would say. Yeah. Everyone was happy, so their loss.
Yeah.
If they didn't want to be happy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly the case.
Yeah. You mentioned something important. So Kickstarter was not enough. Obviously, as the name implies, it's just a kickstart. So it's just a way to start getting some money from the community and everything. You had some help from other entities as well. This is probably a little bit controversial, and I will ask you this. You'll answer if you can and if you want. There was a shift at some point. The game was supposed to be released initially on Steam for PC players, and then you made a deal with Epic Games, and it shifted from Steam to Epic. Why was that decision made, and how do you think it affected how fans looked at Shenmue III at the time?
Of course, that decision has been made. You know, in a game, one of the important partner is the publisher. So the publisher decides about those kind of things, and it was the case for Shenmue III. And we just had to follow, because if you decide to work with a publisher, you just have to follow his experience to make the things happen. So it's not a decision of myself, or it's not a decision of Yu Suzuki. And of course, we didn't get any money on that deal, for sure. So the fact is, the community didn't receive so well that announcement, and I saw everything, and especially it was supposed to be on Steam, and I understand the feeling of those people, because they wanted to have it on PC, and they wanted to choose, and they wanted to, you know, PC is something free. I mean, you have to choose. You don't want to be addicted to some companies or anything. So I understand. I understand the bad reaction. Sometimes it was a little bit too much, because there is no reason. We never promised anything. We just promised the PC version, but after, that's true that there is some announcement for Steam, etc. And it was not. We were not aware at that time about the Epic things. So I understand.
Yeah, makes sense, right? Yeah, but people can still get it on PC and on Steam eventually. So
yes, that's true.
Probably,
but,
the number of haters or people who reacted badly is not as high as the number of people that were okay with it, right?
That's true, but it's always the case. You know, the haters, they exist because they hate. You know, that's all. If they follow, or if they are happy, nobody care about them. They need to say bad thing in order to be recognized. That's a kind of special job. But they do in that way, for sure.
Yeah, and they're usually more vocal than people who are okay with things or just happy, right? So we're usually more vocal about things that upset us than about things that we are happy with.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's true, and it's a really common thing. So I cannot say I'm surprised. You know, it's the role of the team to manage those things with a specific communication, in order to make the people understand what we are doing. And of course, I understand there is a lack of communication on those things. That's clear.
Mm-hmm. Something to improve upon in the future, I'm sure.
Yes.
Okay. So are you still somehow working on Shenmue 3, or is your work done for now?
Regarding Shenmue 3 specifically, my work is almost done.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working on the other topics.
Okay. So you're a co-producer, right, of the game?
Yes, I'm co-producer of the game myself, and also my company. Mm-hmm. So my job was mainly to release the game. So I'm not in charge of marketing or those things. So my main job was just to make it happen, and you can buy it at the shops.
So it's done.
That was my main job, and also to give some development tips. I cannot say tips, but I gave some advice to Yu Suzuki about how to make it cool for the Shenmue community. So that was my job on this.
Okay. Did you actually get to interact with a lot of community members? I know the Shenmue 3 community is one of the most amazing ones when it comes to video games because they are well organized. The Save Shenmue campaign was really well organized and everyone got together. Did you get to interact directly with some community members?
I think a lot. Yeah. I don't want to say too much names because I will forget many people. But let's say I discuss a lot with Shenmue Forever, Shenmue Master, Shenmue Dojo. I forgot the name of the Shenmue community in Spain. He will kill me, but
Shout out
there is
to the Shenmue community in Spain. You know who you are, so yeah.
yes,
Hello.
you know, also, and also there is in Japan as well because I met all those people. Many the interaction are in live. I mean, I met them, and not only in Magic. I met them in Gamescom. I met them in Kyoto Magic. I met them in E3. I met them in many events. So that's the reason why I could communicate with them. I do not exchange any email with those people.
Okay, excellent. From your
Sega
yeah, yeah.
Saturno. Sega Saturno is the
Okay,
name of the guy. Yeah, I
okay.
remember.
Shout out. Hello. Okay. So, from your point of view, how have people been receiving the game in general? Not just the community, the longtime fans, but how do you think the feedback has been? Has it been mostly positive, or what do you
Yes,
think?
yes. I ask a lot around me, and I was mainly interested about people who does not know about Shenmue, and they like that game. They like the way the game is. I mean, spending time fishing, cutting woods, talking with people, fighting. It's a day by day game. You spend one day in Shenmue is a little bit more than 1 hour in real life. So it's easy to play that game, and most of the people they like that. Concerning the community, most of the people enjoy, of course. And concerning the hardcore gamer who likes GTA or those kind of games, of course, they are not satisfied about the design and or some animation. But you know that story that's common
Yeah.
criticism regarding Shenmue 3. But in my opinion, we delivered a good game. I wanted to make it longer. I mean, especially the last part. But except that, I'm quite satisfied about the game because we simply cannot do more with the money we had.
Yeah.
So we made some miracles with that. And the only thing I don't understand is, we release, I think, a good game. And I don't understand why the people still consider we had to do triple A games because it was not what we said since the beginning. So I think the game is good. That's enough, I think.
I don't think people really understand what's involved. Yeah, yeah. I think people probably thought they would get this would be like a big release, like as you said, a GTA style of game or something. This is first of all, and I'll be honest here. I liked the game. It could be a little longer. I agree. There were some things that I would personally change as well, but I can see why most of the new features were added, why most of the things that are in the game are there. I just don't think that people who like certain genres of games will enjoy Shenmue. Even the first two. So if you're into, for example, GTA, and that's the only kind of game you like to play, Shenmue slows you down a lot. So even the
Yes,
first two
yes.
games were really slower. So if you want to always be fighting and shooting things, definitely Shenmue is not the game for you. So
That's clear. Honestly, that's clear. That's a fact. And it means that if you are a journalist and you don't understand that, you just have a lack of knowledge, because your job is just to check what is Shenmue, what is Shenmue 1 and what is Shenmue 2, and then you can probably give advice on what is Shenmue 3. Because I don't see how you can not how you cannot be satisfied about Shenmue 3 if you like Shenmue 1 and 2. Because for me, it's the next episode. No problem for that.
Yeah. And the style, even the style of the game, obviously it's not a graphical powerhouse. I think the game is really pretty, I have to say. It feels like a continuation, a sequel, a direct sequel from Shenmue 2, definitely.
Yeah.
But people maybe fail to review, some journalists perhaps fail to review the game as part of the series that it's part of. So it's a Shenmue game. It's not one of the current series or franchises that are popular these days. It's a Shenmue game, so you have to review it as a Shenmue game. And
Exactly.
Probably the biggest mistake that some people make. But, obviously not everyone will enjoy it. So
Yeah. No, but that's sure.
you
And
can't
also,
please everyone.
that's clear. We cannot. And I think it's not the point when we release a game like a Shenmue 3, because as you know, it's a big risk to make this game happen. Because it's not a game for everyone, and we know about that since the beginning. So, but also it's important. Now we are in a new era for games, and video games market is very similar to big markets like cinema and others. And without marketing, you cannot expect to reach the mass audience. So it is clear that there is no marketing, real big marketing activities around Shenmue 3. So, of course, that's also the reason why
So
it's difficult.
more marketing budget next time. That's it.
This kind of thing is decided by the publisher. Publisher must invest in marketing. That's a normal fact, and that's common for all the games.
Mm-hmm. Marketing is really important for people to be aware of the game. Right?
Yes, exactly.
Would you say that, I don't want you to share figures. I don't even know if you have them, but would you say that Shenmue 3 sold well, or at least as you expected?
But according to what I read, it seems that it meets the expectation. So I hope we will get all the information from the publisher soon.
Okay. Were there, I'm sure there were, but where were the biggest challenges in developing Shenmue 3, in making this game happen? Not just the development part, but you mentioned several things, like having to work with different entities. It's not easy making a game, despite what some people probably believe. But what were the biggest challenges looking back? So 4 years ago, you had a Kickstarter project, almost 5 years ago. Looking back now, what were the biggest challenges that you guys faced to make Shenmue 3 happen?
Mainly we had to build a strong team, because we had a small team when we started with the Kickstarter, and after that we had to increase the team with good members. So that was the first point. And also we had to find a good balance between making Shenmue 3 only a game for the community, or making Shenmue 3 in order to try to get new players, because that was the main plan. Because in 2015 we knew that there is a plan to make a remake of Shenmue 1 and 2 on PS4 and Xbox One, but we didn't know when.
Okay.
So so the situation could happen, that the Shenmue remake 1 and 2 could be released after Shenmue 3. So that's not good, of course, at all. But we know that Shenmue 1 and 2 was released before. But we didn't know. So at that time, it was quite complicated to deal with this. And of course, it was also one of the main challenge was to promote the game in a good way. And I think it was not a success in that. That point was not a success because communication. Once again, I don't want to repeat what I just said, but communication and marketing are almost everything now. So I think it was not very good for this. And since 2015, so it was not just because of the publisher, it's a global. But recently, I think when you release a game, you need to advertise more, for sure.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for your honesty in there.
No problem.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. And you mentioned something interesting. There needs to be a balance between making a game just for the hardcore fans and making a game that new players can enjoy as well, right?
Yes.
Was that always the case? Was it initially just a game for the fans, or were you always wanting to add probably more modern features to make it appealing for other people as well?
No, first, we really want to make a game for everyone, but Yusan and myself always kept in mind that we are here thanks to the Shenmue community. So for sure, we didn't want to just make a game for the mass audience. So Shenmue community was a priority together with the mass audience. That was our thoughts. And we tried to deliver a game reflecting that point of view.
Okay, excellent. Another thing you mentioned was that you knew back in 2015 that there was a plan for a Shenmue 1 and 2 HD.
Yes.
So before you launched the Kickstarter?
Good question. Yes, I knew that. Yeah, I knew that.
You just didn't know when it would happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly.
So that actually changed things a little bit as well, right? So if the game was released before Shenmue 3, it would probably help. If it wasn't released before Shenmue 3, it would probably not help Shenmue 3.
But yes, that's true. But we didn't know anything regarding the date.
Yeah.
And also, the situation could happen that the Shenmue 1 and 2 would not happen. Also, it was a possibility. So I just knew there is a plan, but that's all. A plan does not mean it will happen.
Yeah, that's true.
But I knew it was discussed.
Okay, that's a challenge as well.
Yes. As I told you, and I tell it to everyone, we took a real risk. It's a risk to make this game happen, and we are happy to have taken that's a risk. But it's a risk. I mean, I don't want that that's a fact be underestimated by people, because it seems that okay, that's easy to make a game. No, that's not. That's not.
Yeah, and the fans appreciate the risk that you took, and thank you for that as well.
My pleasure. Yeah, my pleasure.
Okay, so Cédric, I like to play a little game with my guests called Quick Shots.
Okay.
So, Quick Shots is something very simple. I have a few words or names here. What I want you to do, please, is to tell me the first thing that pops into your head, into your mind, when you hear these names or these words. Okay?
Well, okay. Let's try.
Let's try it. Okay, so this is Quick Shots with Cédric Biscay. Cédric, first one. Video games.
Radiant Silvergun.
Okay, that's interesting. Very good.
I have
Great shooter.
many replies on this, because that's the first thing I tell now. But if you ask me in 10 minutes, I can find another game. But right now, that's what I want to say.
Okay, great shooter. Very
Yeah.
good. Yu Suzuki.
King of arcade.
Awesome. Agreed. Ryo Hazuki.
Brother of Akira.
Good. Shenmue III.
Dream. Comes
Agreed.
true.
Agreed. Come true. Yeah. Magic.
Crazy. I can, of course, I can tell you why, but Magic
We'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's stick to crazy right now.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. Cédric Biscay.
Random guy who have a lot of dream.
Awesome. Good answer. Okay, Cédric, good job. Quick shots with Cédric Biscay, co-producer of Shenmue III, right here on the Sega Lounge. We're going to take a quick break, Cédric, but we'll be back with something else.
Okay. Perfect.
This week's episode of the Sega Lounge is sponsored by Bob's Pizzeria in Dobuita. When you're feeling hungry and all you can think about is eating a nice big slice of pizza or the whole pie, come to Bob's Pizzeria in Dobuita. Contrary to our name and pretty much common sense, Bob's Pizzeria is owned by Mario Griani, a veteran Italian chef. Mario learned his craft from the best pizza makers in Italy. They just didn't teach him how to properly name a restaurant. If you want to try the best margherita pizza in all of Yokosuka, made by a clearly stereotyped Italian man with a name and mustache that reminds you of a well-known plumber, come to Bob's Pizzeria in Dobuita. Open all day, every day, unless it's closed.
You want some of the pizza? Cheese melting, the taste of love, huh?
Welcome back, Cédric.
I'm back.
Thank you again for being here. It was a really short break. It seems like nothing really happened.
Yes, I'm surprised.
The magic of podcast editing. Okay. One question for you, Cédric.
Yes.
We've talked about facts and opinions and whatnot. One question for you, like it's more of a personal question.
Okay.
What was the feeling, or what is still the feeling for you to have the chance of working with Yu Suzuki, knowing right now that Shenmue III is out in the world, people can play it. The story that was so important to you has been continued, and it's partly thanks to you. How does that feel?
I'm just so happy about that situation because I played the Yu Suzuki game at some coffee shop like Outrun and Virtua Fighter. Of course, as you know, because I say it many times, but I played Shenmue 1 and 2 instead of going to my universities.
Yes.
So, Yu Suzuki was a part of my time as a young player, and then after to be able to collaborate is something really crazy. And as I said, I'm very proud of this because I totally understand that Shenmue saga is a part of the video game history. And so, I collaborate. I'm also, that's true, my company is a small part of that video game history now, and it's thanks to Shenmue. So that's I cannot say it's unbelievable because it was unbelievable till the day I went to that shop and take the picture with Shenmue III in my hands. But now I believe it's true. We did it. So, but it's really great, honestly.
Amazing. I'm sure. If I remember correctly, when we last spoke about this, you played Shenmue 1 and 2 in Japanese, was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, what language did you first play Shenmue 3 in? Do you remember?
No, I played its subtitles in French, but of course, because I use you mean the first time, totally first time, because
Yeah.
first time is everything in Japanese. Huh?
Okay.
So I played the Japanese version first, but it was not a real play. I played, okay, but I made the game several times after the release as well because I played before, but I wanted to make it after, and I played in subtitle in French and of course voice in Japanese always.
Okay. So that's good to keep with tradition. Japanese voices.
Yeah, but I'm a game lover, and when I was younger, I only play game in Japanese because the first release usually was in Japan. That's the reason why. And I'm a player of imported game since the beginning. So that's why I always play game in Japanese, including Shenmue. But most of my game were in Japanese anyway.
Okay, excellent. Okay, Cédric, I don't know if you remember, but 4.5 years ago, you were here, and we had a little something called the Sega Lounge Challenge, which is something that all of my guests have to go through.
Okay.
Would you be willing to take another one?
Okay, let's try. I don't know if I'm able to answer or to do anything, but let's do.
We'll see.
Now that you know our guests, it's time to put them to the test. It's the moment we've waited for and the moment they dread.
Welcome to your doom.
I mean, welcome to the Sega Lounge Challenge.
This week's Sega Lounge Challenge is the part 2 of your original Sega Lounge Challenge, which was called 100 yen each. Okay, so in 2015 we played a game called 100 yen each, which means we have capsule toys, and each capsule toy has a question. Okay, they're numbered 1 to 10. Would you like to answer 1 to 10 in order, or would you like to pick a number and randomly answer questions?
Let's do it randomly, but maybe we can just start with 3, of course.
Of course. So let's start with 3. 3 is Ryo Hazuki.
Okay.
Actually, very good capsule toy, very rare. So the question for you, Cédric, is: in Shenmue 2, Ryo leaves Kowloon and travels to Guilin.
Whoa.
What transportation does he use to get there? We have multiple choice. I have some options if you want.
I think it was a boat. No, I'm not sure, but there is. Tell me the difference.
So, option A, boat. Option B, bus. Option C, plane.
For sure, it's not plane. I don't remember in detail, honestly. Let's say boat, but I'm not sure.
So your answer is boat.
Yeah.
And your answer is correct.
Yeah.
It's by boat, of course. Yes. Very good. So that's number 3. Would you like to pick another one?
Let's do it randomly.
Okay.
I can tell you. It's up to you. What you prefer.
Okay, so let's go with 7. Let's do randomly.
Okay.
Number 7 is Chai.
Okay.
Creepy guy. At the end of Shenmue 1, Ryo defeats Chai in a final battle that takes place in the harbor.
Yeah.
What happens to Chai? Option A, gets run over by a bus. Option B, gets knocked into the sea. Option C, escapes Ryo. So after that final battle, what happens?
I know he likes to run away, but I don't remember in detail about that.
So at the very last battle,
Yeah.
what happens? Does he get run over by a bus? Does he get knocked into the sea? Does he escape Ryo? What do you think is more likely to have happened?
I don't remember, but let's say something, even if. But let's say in the water, because it was near water, if I remember. But yeah, okay. Let's say he went into the water.
So that's your answer.
Yes.
He gets knocked into the sea.
Yes. Yeah.
Unfortunately, Jai didn't get run over by a bus. No, he didn't. He was able to come back later. So your answer is correct.
Yes.
Knocked into the sea by Ryo. That's correct.
I don't remember about this precisely, but I remember about the area. So I guessed it's this.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Very good. Okay, so we have 3 and 7. Let's go with number 1. Number 1 is Ren.
Yes.
Ren is the leader of the Heavens Gang.
Mm-hmm.
What is the name of the little boy that is also part of the gang? Is it A, Cool Z, B, Larry, or C, Wong?
Let's say Wong.
Are you sure?
Can you just remind me the name, because maybe it's similar.
Yeah. So the name of the little boy is Cool Z, Larry, or Wong.
No, I keep on Wong. I am not sure, but I feel it better.
Cédric, your answer is correct. Yes. That is the correct answer. Okay, number 4. And okay, mild spoilers for people listening to this one. If you haven't played Shenmue 3, beware. Minor spoilers here. So the number 4 capsule toy is Dijing Hong. I'm not sure if I'm saying this correctly, but okay. So Dijing Hong, who Ryo finds in Shenmue 3, is the brother of which Shenmue 2 character? Option A, Delin. Option B, Barry Jones. Or option C, Dao New.
I think it's Barry, no?
So Dijing Hong is the brother of Delin, Barry Jones, or Dao New?
Dalin. It's absolutely not Barry Jones. It's Dalin, I think. Dalin. I remember about that. Dalin. Yeah, I remember about the scene perfectly because it's very recent, as you can guess. So, let's say Dalin.
So that's your final answer.
Yes.
Yeah. That is correct. Yes. Delin was one of the people that worked with Ryo in the harbor.
Yes.
In Shenmue 2. They were carrying crates.
Yes, so exactly.
Dijing is his brother. Very good. Very good job. 4 for 4. Amazing. Let's go with number 10. Number 10. Yuanda Zhu. I'm not sure. But yeah, probably. You know who this is. Yuanda Zhu is the owner of what bankrupt company? So what is the name of his company? It's bankrupt.
Wow. That's not easy.
Okay. Option A, Cédric.
Yes.
Ghost Hall Company or Ghost Hall Co. Option B, the Chiyu Men Inc. Or option C, 5 Star Corp.
Wow.
Ghost Hall Co., Men Inc. or 5 Star Corp?
Wow, honestly, that's not easy to know, but
Which one sounds better?
I think for sure the last one, because she human corporate for sure not.
The Men Incorporated.
No. Yeah, 5 star. Let's say 5 star anyway. I'm not 100% sure, but if I have to eliminate the others, I keep this one.
So not the Ghost Hall Co.
No.
Okay.
I don't feel it with it, so
Yeah.
I don't feel it.
Ghost Hall was also the name of a building in Shenmue III in Kowloon.
Mm-hmm.
Ghost Hall Co. I don't know if that is actually a thing, but 5 Star Corp is the name of Yuanda Zoo's company. Very good. Well done.
Great. Part of luck for this one.
Good job. Not luck, just a gut feeling. Okay. Number 2. So we have a lot of capsule toys already. 5. That's half of them. Let's go with number 2. Number 2 is another rare toy, Shenhua.
Mm-hmm.
Who voices Shenhua in the English version of Shenmue III?
Ooh.
Okay, so option A, Cédric.
Mm-hmm.
Brianna Knickerbocker.
Okay.
Option B, Ruth Hollyhan.
Mm-hmm.
Option C, Liesl Wilkerson. So Brianna Knickerbocker, Ruth Hollyhan, or Liesl Wilkerson. A, B, or C?
I think it's not the last one. Because
Not
the last
Liesl
one,
Wilkerson?
yeah, I think because she was there for Shenmue 1 and 2, I say, or maybe just 2, but at least she was before, but I know she's not anymore, but maybe I'm wrong because I don't remember. The second one, it's not, I'm not sure, but I heard about Brianna, but that's all. The second one, I never heard, and I think the last one was not involved in Shenmue 3. So I think it's Brianna.
Are you sure, Cédric? Is that your final answer?
Let's say it's my final answer for this, yeah.
So let's say you are right.
Okay.
Good job. Brianna Knickerbocker. Yeah. Liesl Wilkerson was the voice of Joy and Huying in Shenmue 2.
That's why. Okay.
Yeah, that's why it's familiar, perhaps.
Yes, exactly.
Not Shenhua in Shenmue 3.
Okay,
very good job. Let's go with number 5 now. Number 5 is Ine-san. Great capsule toy. The question for Ine-san is, how much money does Ine-san give Ryo as an allowance every day?
Wow.
So, is it option A, 300 yen, option B, 500 yen, or option C, 1,000 yen? 300, 500, or 1,000 yen? How much is it every day?
Honestly, I don't remember, but let's say she just gave 300. Let's say 300. Yeah, okay. Because I don't remember that at all.
So your answer is 300 yen.
Yeah, it's not a lot, but let's say
it's
that.
Not a lot.
No, it's not a lot at all.
At all. Okay. The correct answer is not 300, but 500 yen.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, no worries. You don't get Ine-san for your collection. You'll have to try again. But maybe you'll get number 6. Number 6 is Landy. The question is, at the end of the Kowloon portion of Shenmue 2, after Ryo beats down you on the rooftop, how does Landy escape? Is it by car, by boat, or by helicopter?
By helicopter.
Are you sure?
Yes, I think.
Maybe he just gets there by helicopter, but maybe he escapes.
I think he escaped by helicopter, but I think he escaped by helicopter.
You're right. That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he doesn't just escape by helicopter. He gets there by helicopter.
Yes.
He just hangs at the helicopter throughout the whole battle, watching, and it
Yes.
just goes away. So yeah, he's
Yes,
like
that's why I
badass.
remember, because I just wanted he comes and fight.
Yes, me too. Epic moment. Yes.
Exactly.
Okay, only 8 and 9 left. So let's go with 8.
Mm-hmm.
8 is Master Chen.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, in which warehouse does Master Chen run his trading operation?
Oh.
Is it warehouse number 2, warehouse number 8, or warehouse number 10?
No,
Number
but
2, number
what-
8, or number 10 in Shenmue 1, by the way.
Well, okay, let's do it just by luck, because I don't remember. Let's say number 8 for sure. All right, let's do it. But just pure luck, because I totally
That's a
don't
good. That's a
understand.
good guess. That's a good guess. Is it the right guess?
Really? No?
We'll see. We'll
Okay.
see. It is. It is the right guess.
Great.
Yes, warehouse number 8.
Great. Pure luck.
Good job. Good job. Last one. Okay, let's see if you can get Tom Johnson as a capsule toy. Tom, what's the name of Tom's girlfriend? Is it A, Honey, B, Tina, or C, Janice?
You are crazy with your question.
Thank you very much.
But let me try to remember this. Can you tell me again the name?
Yeah, so Tom the hot dog.
Yeah,
stand,
I totally know, and I remember.
Yeah.
Of course, there was a
So-
great moves he teach us.
Exactly.
I
the
remember.
tornado kick.
Yeah.
So is it Honey,
Mhm.
Tina, or Janice?
Janice for sure not. Tina, no, Oni. I would say Oni. If I don't remember clearly, but yeah, Tina
But
and
if you had to choose, you would go with
Honey, of course.
Honey.
Always.
Always with Honey.
Yeah.
Maybe he calls her Honey, hi Honey, or something, but is her name actually Honey?
Great.
It is! Yes! That's the correct answer. Well done. Very good. And that means, Cédric Biscay, you get 9 out of 10. So that's an amazing score. Very good.
great.
Very good job.
Not bad.
I think
not bad.
even better than the last time. Yeah.
yes. I think.
Very
But
good, very good.
Some questions are very, very complicated. I mean, you need to know 100% of the game. Or I play, but some souvenirs are quite old, but that's okay.
Yeah, I understand. It's not easy. I know. That's the fun of it. Okay,
Yes.
one final question for this challenge.
Yeah.
When can we expect Shenmue 4 to come out? No, I'm joking. I'm kidding.
But it
But if
needs
you want to
time
answer-
make it. Oh, we all want to make it. So I cannot say anything, because we need to try to find the right partners. We need to find a lot of. We need to work on many sides of that topic. But we all want to make it. All means Yusan and myself, as usual. At the beginning there is only a few people, and then after many people want to join. But in the battlefield, we are most of the time just two of us.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, are you aware of the new social media campaign? Let's get Shenmue 4?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the fans are at it again.
Yes,
They're
and
back.
they want to make it happen again, and I'm very happy for that. The fans are very active, and for sure we are thinking how to make the things happen. And Yusan clearly wrote it that he wants to make Shenmue 4. I also told it many times, and I tell it again. I want to make Shenmue 4. So let's see if we can do it.
Okay, let's see. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, there's a chance. So that's the most important thing right now.
Yes, there is always a chance. That's why we released the Shenmue III, because there is always a chance, and there is always hope to make the things happen. I don't know when we can make this happen, but of course we all hope we don't need to wait 10 years or 20 years.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's before we go, Cédric, let's talk a little bit about your other projects. For example, you have Magic Monaco. We are recording this the week after it was supposed to happen, right?
Yes.
But unfortunately, it had to be delayed because of the coronavirus situation. So, did you postpone it? Are you canceling the event for this year altogether? What are the plans right now?
We have postponed it, but it will not happen in 2020. So the next dates are 26th and the 27th of February, but next year. So for the first time, it will be 2 days instead of one. So
Okay.
it's for the first time in the history of Magic, and we want to make the things really great. As you know, in the video game, among the video game speakers, we have Mr. Igarashi of Bloodstain, Castlevania, Mrs. Kojima also from Castlevania, and we will work on other great talents. And yes, it will be a great Magic, and we of course are working on Magic in Kyoto as well, and we have a lot of other surprise regarding Magic, because we are working on something crazy regarding Magic. So, and we will talk soon about that.
Awesome. So, Magic in Monaco in February 2020, right?
2021.
Yes, sorry, 2021.
Yeah.
Yes, we are still in 2020. Yes. Thank you. This coronavirus situation is a little bit complicated. It's worrying a lot of people around the world. From your point of view, what impact can this have on the gaming and entertainment industry?
But first, the first impact, quick impact, is China is almost paralyzed. So it means all the huge investors and game partners from China, it's difficult to get any feedbacks from them and to collaborate with them those days. That's normal, because they are focused on this virus problem. After that, I don't know if there is so much impact in the video game industry, because in most of the case, you play video game at home. So it's not like the cinema or, the global content industry where you have to go somewhere in order to enjoy. Of course, the game center and those kind of place, it's a problem. But for release game, I think maybe we will have more sales because of this virus, because people need to stay at home. So for the video game industry, I think it's not a big problem, I think.
Yeah. The issue here is the conventions that get canceled or postponed or something like that. That's another issue, right? Especially for smaller publishers or developers who want to get their games out there and they can't because of the cancellations of these events. That's probably a problem.
That's an issue for that, but most of the event will be postponed, and also there is many events. So I think it's not a problem to find an event in the coming weeks or months, because we don't know what will happen exactly with that virus. So of course I understand there is many cancellation, but it's for all the events around the world. I mean, in all the industries. We are Shibuya Production is located in Monaco, and we have very big events in the near future. Here there is Cannes International Film Festival, and there is also the Monaco Grand Prix for the Formula One. And we don't know what will happen. It's, of course, a very big event for my place and for the tourism income and all those things. So, yes, many people here are worried about the situation, and we know it's the same situation for E3, for example, and other big events like that. We don't know what will happen. But because it's video games, there is probably many way to promote the game without the event. You know, there is online things, there is YouTubers, there is Twitch, there is a ton of things.
Yeah, it's a digital medium, so people can, enjoy and know about things, not physically, but
yes, I
safe
think
distance.
I think it's more a problem for us. I mean, the people, because I include myself as a fan, as usual, instead of a businessman. But as a fan, I want to meet people. So I mean, I'm not interested about Twitch and YouTube or those kind of things. I just want to go to the event in order to discuss with people who share the same passion. So for people like me and probably like you, it's a problem. But for the big guys in the video game industry, I think it's not.
Okay, that's an interesting answer. Very good. So are there any future projects for Shibuya Productions that you would like to share or tell people who follow you about anything?
Yeah, sure. We will release this year the quite big game that we are making with Don't Not, which is a Twin Mirror narrative game that we will release in 2020. I cannot say the exact date yet, but it's a pretty ambitious game, and I'm looking for the day where the people will see about the new image of that game and trailer, because it's really, really good quality. And we just released also a game regarding chess. It's a very small game that we give for free because I created a manga regarding chess with Garry Kasparov, and we offer a mobile game with that manga, and so it's fun to provide some game for free instead of doing normal advertisement. We just provide game. So it's a good way, I think, to entertain people. And that's the main project we have in the video game industry, because of course we work in animation, manga, and various fields, and we have a lot of projects on those fields. But for video games, that's the two main things we are doing now.
Okay. Don't Nod, by the way, people probably know them from Life is Strange.
Exactly.
Right? Among other things, but Life is Strange is probably their biggest past project. How can people get the chess game that you developed?
They just can go on the website and download it.
Okay.
Yeah, website of Shibuya Production, because we have a tag, of course, on the manga, QR code, and those kind of thing when you buy the manga. But you can also find it on the Shibuya Production website.
Okay, excellent. We'll leave links for that in the show notes as well for people listening to us. Okay, Cédric, one final question. This is a question that I ask all of my guests. In the 90s, Sega advertised the Sega Genesis, as they knew the Mega Drive over there, as having blast processing. Mm-hmm. Right, so they said that the Genesis was more powerful, for example, than the Super Nintendo because it had blast processing. So if you could add blast processing to anything in the world, what would it be and why?
Wow, that's a very, very, very deep question.
To make it more powerful or more amazing, I don't know.
No, but unfortunately, my answer is I would put that processor directly into the Earth, because we ask too much things to our Earth. We do not take care of the Earth, so we need a stronger Earth. So that's my clear answer about that. I should put that processor directly in the Earth.
Yes. Planet Earth now with more blast processing. That would be nice. An eco-friendly answer there by Cédric. Yeah. Okay, very good. Thank you, Cédric. again, thank you for coming on the show, for being such a great guest and a lovely guest as well. All the
pleasure.
best for your future projects, and please come back to talk about Shenmue 4.
Thank you very much.
Soon.
Thanks for the invitation. I hope. Let's say if I have something to say on Shenmue 4, I will be back. I will come back.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks again to Cédric Biscay for coming on the show. I had a lovely time talking to him, and I'm sure not just me, but we all appreciated his honesty in answering some of these questions and sharing his thoughts on the process of making and releasing Shenmue 3. Shout out to all you Shenmue fans out there that are regular listeners of the show, and to all of the ones that discovered the Sega Lounge because of this particular episode. I'm planning to have more Shenmue related content in the months ahead, so feel free to subscribe and come back for more. With that, it's about time I mentioned that giveaway, isn't it? Okay, this week I'm giving away a code for Panzer Dragoon Remake, courtesy of Forever Entertainment. The code will only work on European or PAL accounts, so if you don't have one of those, keep that in mind before entering. If you want to enter, check out the gleam.io link in the description of this episode. You'll have the chance to complete 2 actions that will count as 1 entry each. You can either follow the Sega Lounge on Twitter or visit our Podchaser page and leave a review. Each of these actions will count as a single entry. If you complete both, you'll get 2 entries, so that's what I recommend, obviously. This giveaway will be active until next Wednesday, April 1st, and the winner will be announced on next week's episode. Thanks to Forever Entertainment for providing us with the code for this giveaway. Speaking of next week's episode, I have the pleasure to announce that it's going to be the first one to air live on Radio Sega. So feel free to tune in and join Radio Sega's Discord server next Thursday, April 2nd at 8 p.m. UK time. That's 3 p.m. Eastern and 12 p.m. Pacific. We'll have a special roundtable episode with a great panel of guests discussing some of the most recent Sega-related happenings. If you can't make it to the live show, don't worry, the podcast episode will be available on Friday as per usual. Thanks again for listening, streaming, downloading, and being all around awesome. Stay safe, stay home if you can, and be careful. Whatever you're going through right now, you're not alone, and I'll be back next week to help you by providing some distraction and entertainment. Bye-bye! The Sega Lounge, hosted by me, KC, and part of Radio Sega's network of radio shows and podcasts. Theme song by OSC. Find them at opensciencecollective.com. Got any suggestions? Drop me an email to kc@radiosega.net or send me a voice message on anchor.fm/thesegalounge. You can find previous episodes of The Sega Lounge by going to anchor.fm/thesegalounge and wherever fine podcasts are downloaded.